Welcome everybody to ASL Season 13 Group B, probably one of the most anticipated groups of the entire round of 24. We've got the round of, we've got Bisu returning, and of course we're going to go into interviews with the players.
Looks like we are once again back to ASL Season 13 round of 24 Group B. She is summarizing about yesterday's game, round of 24 Group A, where Best was playing absolutely perfect and defending all sort of cheese or aggression by his opponent. And we're all so excited to see some new faces. Like Tyson is here, Bisu is here, Sacsri is here.
강력한 우승 후보로 또 이재호 선수가 지목이 되고 있습니다.
She is saying lots of fans and not just fans. Even ASL players, like previous ASL players, are pretty much expecting that you are going to be climbing up a lot on this ASL Season 13 because you were dominating in the ultimate battle, the best of total 9 game series.
이재호 선수의 좋은 경기력을 기대할 수 있을지도 궁금해지는데요. 또 옆에 계신 선수와도 인사 나눠보겠습니다. 박지훈 선수 안녕하세요.
Things are just working out so well.
ASL 본선 진출입니다.
It looks like Tyson hasn't qualified for ASL for 3 years.
네, 계속 못 뚫었는데 이번에 또 운 좋게 뚫어가지고.
And how do you feel, Tyson? Tyson is saying he felt like somewhat lucky for him that he made it into round of 24. But to prove to everyone that he does have the skill to make it into ASL, so he really wants to make it into round of 16. Show how strong he is. And we also like to talk with Bisu as well. Hello. And since you have returned to this StarCraft competitive scene, lots of Protoss players are becoming better and better. Not just high level Protoss players, also low level players are also getting some motivation or inspiration by you and learning a lot from you. And how do you feel about today's game? And Bisu says his recent games are not working out so well, but he's saying that he's feeling comfortable on this offline stage because he's used to this stage. He used to play on this stage, so he feels okay. And we would like to talk with Sacsri as well. How are you doing? And how do you feel about today's game? And Sacsri is saying he wasn't able to make it into the round of 24 in the previous season, or maybe 2 seasons ago as well. He kinda had to get some treatment on his carpal tunnel issue and so on. Hope things are getting okay for him today's game. He's somewhat worried about it, but he would like to play well.
이번 시즌 어떤 플레이 컨셉을 좀 어떤 모습을 보여주고 싶으신지.
Okay, looks like this is one of the questions to Light.
제가 지난 시즌이랑 그전 시즌은
What is your mindset of this ASL Season 13? Like the play concept. So like aggression or playing defensively or maybe something like a strategic wise. And Light answers he has done lots of aggression or some sort of like a mind game as well in the previous season against Hero. Things are not working out so well for him, so he would like to play defensively and show how solid he is. Okay, one other question to Tyson. He has a nickname, the God Mode Tyson, because 4 or 5 years ago, before Remastered came out, there's a story between Tyson and Flash, and Tyson beat Flash on a offline stage with his Mass Zealot. It gave us a lot of memory back then. So, how do you feel that you would like to? Are you gonna be showing some like a God mode of Tyson tonight? And Tyson wasn't sure whether he can actually bring that skill once again into this 2022. And one other question to Bisu. In terms of percentage, how much do you think you brought your skills in this for the ASL tournament?
기량을 찾아가지 않을까 싶습니다. 마지막 이하운 선수에게 질문 드리겠습니다. 오랜만에 ASL 본선 진출.
I'm sorry that I wasn't able to hear his answer correctly, so I'll skip that. We'll move on to Sockstreet's question.
기억에 남는 부분이 있으신가요?
So one of the questions to Sockstreet. You haven't you haven't played on ASL for a long time. Was there any hard time or fun time for you while you're preparing for this ASL?
그냥 좀 마음을
He thinks
그래가지고 뭐 힘들거나
this
즐거웠던
round of 24 is going to be the toughest game out of his experience, like in the previous season as well. So he would like to let his pressure down, like let things down, and try to have less pressure and play okay for today's game. Lots of people are saying Sacsri is not good at Zerg versus Protoss. He would like to show to the audience that he can prove he's playing okay, decent against Protoss. And also Bisu is saying the last word before he goes to the game. He wants to get into round of 16 with 2 wins without any loss. Long time for Tyson. Tyson hasn't played on an ASL flying stage for a long time, so he would like to enjoy. He will try his best and perform really well. And same for Light. Light was saying he'll try his best as well. Same comment. Thank you for the interview. It looks like that is the Ask ASL event. People who got selected with the question, they will get the ASL mini humidifier, and players are gonna be going back to their seat.
Yep, thank you for the translation scan. And just like yesterday, I would say there's obviously 2 clear favorites here in Light and Bisu. Just like what Tyson was saying, I'm a little bit surprised that he made it in because not that I follow Tyson a lot, but he doesn't seem to be at the level that the other players are. But maybe he is because I've been seeing him play in more pro league stuff. A big question mark for me with Sacsri too. I was looking at his ASL history, and we haven't seen him since ASL 10. So maybe you can give us a little more insight into Sacsri and Tyson's level right now?
Well, I don't know if you actually watched those StarCraft community, the Korean community of tier list. People decided to put Sacsri in a Jack tier, but I don't think he belongs in Jack tier because he beat. Okay, so first of all, let me organize this the tier list first. There's the God tier, King tier, and then Jack tier, and so on, something like that, like how those card. Like the priority is. And yeah, Sacsri, I don't think he belongs in Jack tier, but people are pretty much underestimating of how strong he is because about 4 or 5 seasons ago, remember Sacsri was beating Flash on a round of 16. That was very impressive in my opinion.
Yeah, I remember that. I was thinking to myself, I know there was a season where Sacsri pulled off a huge upset. I couldn't remember which one, but yeah. He's definitely a good Zerg player. We'll see how well he can do here because he was talking about a weak point in ZVP, and he's going to be going up against potentially 2 Zerg versus Protoss players. And then, of course, the return of Bisu. I'm sure everybody is wondering, can this guy make it into the round of 16 and beyond? Because you were saying just yesterday that Bisu's only been back like 3 weeks or so.
Yeah, he came back around January 21st, so that's about like 3 weeks. And a lot of people are thinking like, oh yeah, Bisu hasn't played for like 8 months on Africa. Doesn't really matter in my opinion because whenever I play on ladder, I know who's smurfing on which account. I can tell this player is Bisu or he's not Bisu. So I guarantee you guys for you that Bisu was actually playing the StarCraft the whole time while he was taking a break on Africa stream.
Yeah, it's funny because foreigners do the same thing. They're like, yeah, I haven't played for like 6 months. But in reality, what that means is that they have been playing for 6 months, but now they're comfortable letting the world know that they have that they're back and ready to play. We're getting a look at Light statistics here. You can see pretty solid across the board, basically 50% win rate versus everything. And surprisingly, Termer's Protoss, that's his best matchup, and he's going to be facing off versus Tyson.
And I'm hearing some sort of like a siege mode. Maybe this is one of the background music song that he got from his fan. Like, it's interesting. I know you guys won't be hearing it that well because we have to be careful with the YouTube copyright or something like that. But yeah, Light has been playing really well, but he wasn't able to make it into semifinal for about like 2 years by now. But here is Tyson's information as well. He made it into round of 24 in season 7. I don't recall how he was playing.
I also don't remember Tyson's games. In fact, I don't remember seeing Tyson in really any tournament since I've come back to Remastered, a couple years ago. So this is going to be all new to me. I like how you brought up God Mode Tyson because I was unaware that Tyson took out Flash previously.
Yeah, it was on a circuit breaker where he, back then like 4 or 5 years ago, where Terrans were usually doing like 2 factory into 4 command center. Like, because during that time, no one really actually did like the Reaver strategy. A lot of people used to go for like the pure observer build into like a setup at Dune and going for super fast arbiter. And to counter against that, Flash found out that yeah, I can go for 2 factory into 4 CC, and everyone was struggling. But Tyson showed that God mode play and beat Flash in that game. But it looks like players are ready. We're gonna be moving into game number 1. Light versus Tyson on Eclipse.
Okay, in the bottom left are red Terran. It is Light. And in the top right are gray Protoss, also representing the JSA tag. It is Tyson. So both players, I'm guessing JSA. I've recently seen this tag. Is this also a university?
It's one of the university created by one of the major streamer. I think he usually does like the variety show, like a radio talk, like talk show. There you go, talk show. And he decided to come over to StarCraft as well. And yeah, both of the players, Light and Tyson, they are in JSA University.
Yeah, so I'm sure there's been a lot of practice recently between these two players, probably completely aware of their playstyle. Now, just like yesterday, we're seeing a fast scout by this probe. We'll see how Light's going to respond. Already, we like his depot placement much better than Barracks the other day. I mean, Barracks got double gas stolen yesterday, just a nightmare game. And Light is aware of that, obviously. He's going to definitely try and make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, so this is very common to see. Oh, yeah.
No gate.
Maybe it might be like 11 or 12 gate if he's not able to do anything. But let's see what Tyson decided to do. Here's the Barracks going to be go down. Will Light cut off his SCV production for a 10 gas? Definitely not. He's not going to be doing it. Let Protoss to take the Vespene Geyser, because if you're cutting your worker to get the 10 refinery, you might get screwed by the proxy gate. So you have to be very careful. Just not trying to cut off any of SCV production here. But Tyson is going to play some greedy move against Light. That will be 13 Nexus.
Yep, so it's going to be fast Nexus, as you stated, and I think this is exactly what you need to do versus someone like Light. Light, arguably the best Terran right now, and Tyson's going to need to get as much of an advantage as he possibly can versus someone of Light's caliber. Now, we see sometimes players kill the gas pretty fast, but Light's not doing this, so I'm guessing this is just going to be gasless.
Yeah, this is going to be the gasless, and look at how Light's scout late is, because I mean, I guess he's really confident that he can actually defend any sort of like a proxy gate without scouting so fast. So Yeah, looks like he's gonna be just immediately putting on the command center ASAP and not even touching that simulator at the main base. He's putting on the command center, but the simulator is 100% HP. Is he just gonna be putting on the refinery at the natural?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be low. Oh, never mind. There it goes. He's going to start killing the assimilator now. And I love the second pylon placement of Tyson. We've talked about this before with the gasless expand from Protoss, where sometimes they end up getting busted because they don't have something like a shield battery at their natural. So I like the placement there in case he needs to build a battery, he can. And there's the bunker, but it's just a single Marine. However, it is annoying since there's no defense for Tyson right now.
Yeah, that bunker will be buying some time. A single Marine, the second and the third Marine also coming on the way, but Tyson, okay, Tyson was waiting for his Zealot to be popping out, so there's a Zealot, but how much of the HP of the bunker? Okay, that's not that much, so I guess Light is not going to be taking that much of a risk to finish that bunker. Refinery is going up, but I feel like this refinery seems so late because we can see Tyson's Vespene gas is about almost 200, and he might just go for straight robo in this kind of case.
Yep, that's exact. Is that it right there? Oh no, that's the cybernetics. I was also thinking the same thing, that Tyson's aware of the gas timing, so he knows there's no tank, no vulture forever. Wouldn't be surprised to see a single goon followed up by the robotics. And these Marines, they didn't do that much damage, but it did force some defense from Tyson. SCV gets a glimpse into Tyson's main and sees that there is no range. So yeah, this is going to be something. Yeah, robo at the natural.
So robo at the natural, but I feel like this is a bit too much about given information for Light because he's skipping everything. He's skipping range upgrade. He's showing there's no second gateway as well. Light might gonna make some decision making. Maybe he might gonna go for 2 factory into 1 port because he knows how much Tyson has with the ground army, and he's gonna be probably lacking with it if he ever moves out with 2 factory, and he knows it is going to be definitely a fast robotic facility. He might gonna be countering it with the starport build, but here's a second refinery already going up and second scout SCV as well at the 12 o'clock.
Yep, 2 fact from Light, and that's going to be a third Nexus. Now that SCV is also going to scout this, and I'm sure Terran players out there are thinking, wow, this Protoss is greedy. He didn't get range, he didn't get a goon, he went straight robo. Can 2 fact punish this? Oh, who instantly canceled something.
Yeah, it looks like that must be the Academy and Armory follow-up, but he decided to change his plan because I cannot let... If he goes for Academy and an Armory build in this kind of case, he's just letting Tyson to get bigger and bigger, so he decided to cancel those double building at the same time. That cannot be the depot because he won't be making that much, making that kind of small mistake.
Well, we'll see if this is going to be successful because this is going to be a 4 fact follow-up, but because the gas was so late, there's not a single tank out. Like, it's not like Light can build 2 tanks and move out. I mean, there's no DPS with this army. Well, maybe he can because he's building more Marines to support it. Now, Tyson, I didn't see whether there was Observer or Robotics or Support Bay. I mean, it looked like it's just going to be 4-gate Observer, though.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Tyson might needs to make a shuttle because this 4 fact timing with the 5 tank, or maybe he might gonna be moving out with 3 tank, but he's probably gonna be lacking with the goon count to counter against those 3 or 5 tank pressure. And in order to stop those pressure, this Terran's timing attack, you must have something like a harassment unit, like a Reaver or Dark Templar, but he has literally nothing, just pure goon.
Well, we saw at the natural, actually the SCVs are being cut. So this 4 fact follow-up is not going to have much econ behind it. Already Light is moving out. I think Tyson, if he puts down a Citadel and like 2 more gates, he should be able to hold it even without Reaver. I'm not sure exactly. We'll see how this initial engagement goes. But that's a lot of Marine support, and Vultures are running by, and I'm looking at the natural of Tyson. I think just a few goons popped out, so maybe he won't get backstabbed there, but ooh, look at this mine positioning. This is perfect.
Ooh, those 2 Vultures are pretty much setting up those Spider Mines, and Spider Mines did trigger. Stepping on those Spider Mines, buttering the bread on those Zealot and Gun, and those 2 Vulture will be sneaking in. And Tyson, he should be able to clear this siege tank if he's gonna be taking lots of damage, but it looks like those vultures will be surrounding those guns. None of the Spider-Man's triggered so well. That's a good fight for him so far. But what about the main base? Both of the players are not actually paying attention at the main base. Guns are dying.
Yeah, this attack, I think, easily would have been stopped by Tyson if he didn't have to deal with these vultures in the main. Those probes are getting ransacked. Supplies have plummeted for Tyson. He transferred a lot of his probes to his natural to save them. Vulture's going to run into the natural there, too. Meanwhile, Shuttle is out, but there's no Reaver anytime soon. These two goons are going to die. Oh, no, they're not. They get saved by that Shuttle. Nicely done. Now, remember, Light was cutting Econ for this. Oh, my God. Tyson's floating 1k minerals.
Yeah, I think he's just mentally broke in this game because his units are pretty much everywhere. His observer is out of place. It looks like it's sitting at the 8 o'clock and the natural as well at the same time. But yeah, Tyson is trying to get the Reaver up, but the Reaver timing, it seems so late. I feel like if he wanted to get the Reaver after the observer or something like that, he should have just gone for shuttle into observer, not just straightforward observer. Because while you're building the observatory, there is a small delay time that you can actually build a shuttle before observer. And yeah, this Reaver is so late. The game has gone for like 9 minutes long and he got nothing.
Yeah, but these tanks are all going to die, and there was not really much vulture support. I think tanks are actually rallying across the map. And look at the supply. Tyson, despite taking all the damage to his probe line, he's up 30 supply. I wanted to point out, previously that Light did cut SCVs for this. You can see that just taking a glance at the mineral line. Citadel's done now. This is going to be like 8 gate production, and Light is going into 6 fact, which can match 8 gate production, but there's no armory. There's no powerful upgrades behind this. There is an armory.
I'm actually surprised how Tyson is keeping up the supply count. He has 104, 105 by now, and when the observer showed every 3 bases, every bases of Tyson, he had all the probes like saturated. I remember like he lost one group of probe by 2 vultures, but somehow he has a lot of probe. I guess this is the power of the Nexus first build.
Look at this. He's feeling so confident that he's taking a 4th Nexus, and 6 fact kind of puts Light all in. I mean, he has to go for a killing move here. Vulture gets into the natural, and he's going to rack up some probe kills, but as you were stating, I mean, the probe line saturation is still great for Tyson. He's looking like he's in a dominant position, and he's got triple gas, so I'm sure we're going to see Templars or Arbiter come out pretty soon.
Yeah, Light's decision making was excellent, but somehow the game is just still playable for Tyson, I guess. And okay, looks like Light seems very desperate to kill that one pylon on the left side because that HP is very oh no, you should not be letting those vultures get inside of the main base. And now Tyson is starting to lose some rhythm and defending those harassment, and it looks like some tanks are moving towards the right side.
I'm just looking at the vision of Tyson. Like, he has no vision at all of Light's entrance. Like, he doesn't see this move out at all. The tanks and Goliaths have gone unscouted all the way across the map. And if he can get into that sweet spot right up against the cliff, you can range the mineral line from there. I see Shiny do it all the time. And he's even going to intercept some of the probes. If he can pop these Reavers while they're out, that'd be fantastic. That was a great hit under like 4 or 5 probes right there.
Yeah, Tyson, I mean, he does have lots of supply, but I feel like he was dreaming too much, like taking that 4th expansion so fast when Terran does not have any starport or whatsoever, just purely having those mech army straight up 6 factory plus 1 attack with a timing attack. And these tank line is just so strong, and Tyson needs his time to clear those spider mines, but the meantime, while he's clearing those spider mines, more reinforcement is coming. He's trying to engage with his High Templar. Will he be able to win? Okay, where are the vultures?
Yeah, there's no vulture support. It looks like there was a miscycle maybe, or they were just moving across the map just now. Big
no.
engagement. Tyson gets on top of all of the tanks. It looks like both players are going to trade their army. Maybe barely. Light is going to win this fight somehow.
And somehow the supply count is almost nearly even. One of the Dark Templar, Ardun Toridas, will die after killing the single siege tank, but 7's gateway, I feel like he's lacking. He's floating with mineral, and he's also somewhat mining the 4th expansion as well at the 12 o'clock side. It's a single pro, it should be, but still, he needs more gateway.
Yeah, Tyson, he's only at 7 gates right now. I was thinking the same thing, like 3 more or 4 more gateways. I think he could overwhelm this army, but 7 gate versus 6 fact. 6 fact just wins that. Now, Light is going to bleed off a couple tanks right here. One falls right there. Shuttle comes out, so now Shuttle Bomb is dangerous.
Ooh.
And there's no Goliath. That was a good drag on the mine. Doesn't get a connection onto the Vultures, though. But Light is relentless with this. More and more tanks and Vultures just rallying non-stop.
Oh, I think Tyson forgot to put a pylon wall at the 12 o'clock side. If Light realized about that pylon wall is not complete, he's probably going to be sneaking in. It looks like he's finally putting another additional pylon at the 12, the 3rd expansion by now. And yeah, there is the pylon wall. But Tyson needs to do something about this. He gotta break it before the contain becomes stronger and stronger, and maybe have some lots of missile threat as well. Oh, Dark Templar!
Oh, that was a good attempt right there, but scan was perfect. And that one single tank is going to deny the 4th base. Now, turrets are getting set up, and Tyson cannot let this happen because there are so many mines outside of his base, tanks on high ground, so many vultures too, and his army is pitiful.
Yeah, this army, I mean, 5 goons against these many of a mech army. I don't think the priority shouldn't be making Zala at this moment. He needs to maybe make more shuttle and go for shuttle bomb. Okay, he's trying to do some pickup with the Reaver. Okay.
Well, this is quite annoying to having to siege and unsiege over and over and over. Now we see that it is 11 gates, so big production for Tyson. But the contain is set up. The tanks are on the high ground. It's like 8 or 9 tanks right now. And, well, it was almost pure Zealot, but some reinforcing goons clears that up. And here comes Tyson. I don't think he can bust this, though.
We can also see the game has gone for 15-minute long. That's a sign of the main base is going to be mined up pretty much soon. And Light is almost getting out of time. He needs time, or maybe he needs to kill this, or maybe have that contain much stronger to finish this game before his main base gets mined out.
Oh, I don't see a single observer there either. So these zealots just have to eat the mines, and almost the entire army gets killed before it gets on top of a single tank. And you can see Tyson's supply has plummeted now. Now we've got a 20 supply lead for Terran, and he's moments away from breaching this NAT.
Look at that upgrade. 2-1 upgrade for Light. That was absolutely solid. Like I thought there was a pure 1-1 upgrade, like +1 and then a +1 armor, like 6 factory all in build. But I didn't expect Light would be having the +2 as well at the last moment.
Yeah, I also wasn't expecting 2-1, and it wasn't necessarily late either. Like what, the game was 15.5 minutes, and to have 2-1 at 15.5 minutes. Based on how the game flowed, like remember, he canceled his academy, canceled his armory in the beginning to go 4-fact, so he still got on top of his 2-1 upgrades. Nicely done from Light, but it just felt like there was a bit of a macro slip from Tyson when he was floating that 1,000 minerals, and it allowed Light to catch up.
Yeah, that was an absolutely solid Terran play by Light, even though there was some sloppy move by Light, how he was losing all those 5 tank by goons, and maybe one, I don't know if the Reaver was exists at that moment, but yeah, he's still solid after making some mistake in that mid fight. Looks like we're going to be going into the commercial break, and the next game it is going to be Bisu versus Sacsri. Stay tuned, guys.
Welcome back, guys. We're going to be getting into match 2 of the day pretty soon, but of course we're going to talk about our ASL humidifier.
이재호 선수가 승리를 거뒀는데요. 두 번째 경기 만나보시기에 앞서서 이벤트 안내해드리겠습니다. 자, 먼저 ASL 공식 방송국에서 진행되는 에스크 ASL인데요. 선수들에게 궁금한 점 이벤트 게시글에 남겨주시면 선정된 분께 ASL 미니 가습기 보내드리도록 하겠습니다. 자, 또 하나의 이벤트는 승자 예측 투표 이벤트인데요. 승리할 것 같은 선수에게 투표.
Sorry, my mic was off the whole time. Sorry about this. The ASL Season 13 event, there's an Ask ASL event. You go to the ASL mainstream platform, put a comment that you would like to ask a question to your favorite player, and if your comment gets selected, then you will get an ASL mini humidifier. And yeah, so it looks like that's about it, and we'll be moving into game number 2 momentarily. But I don't think they're selling the ASL jacket this season. Maybe they're not having much of a budget, but here is Bisu's information, tier 2.
Yep, surprising to see Bisu in tier 2, but you can see, of course, 63% win rate versus Zerg, just insane. I mean, he's at 60% win rate versus all of them. Kind of surprising to see versus Terran to be at also 60% win rate, because in the past, a lot of players thought Bisu's weakest matchup was Protoss versus Terran, but he's going to be going up against Sacsri. Now, yesterday we saw Beast not put on the greatest showing. Is Sacsri someone that plays similar to Beast, or can we expect to see different types of playstyles from him?
Sacsri is one of the players who I don't think he likes to play some sort of like an all-in. He does play standard, but it seems like he's missing something. He's doing the like how Hero, like STXO Hero is playing, but something is literally missing when he plays against Protoss. And I think we just saw something on something like the patch on his right wrist. I think he's getting some treatment recently at the hospital or clinic. Hopefully he can perform really well tonight. I would like to see how strong he is against Bisu.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be his best chance versus someone like Bisu, someone that's come back, recently, not in the best of shape, but obviously an absolute god at StarCraft. So curious to see what Bisu is going to bring to us. We've got Eclipse, going to be PVZ, and we're going to be starting momentarily. Or not?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Okay, here it is.
이클립스에서 게임을 시작합니다.
So in the top right, probably the best Protoss player of all time, it is Bisu. And then in the bottom left, our Zerg player, it is Sacsri. Now, I know that Bisu has been streaming a lot. Has there been any change you've noticed in his play in PVZ since he's come back compared to the past?
There's something that I've been noticed about. Some differences of Bisu's PVZ versus like Snow or Mini's PVZ. Bisu is one of the players who likes to get the second guess super duper fast after the Cybernetic score, or maybe at the same time as the Stargate. I'm not sure whether it has to do with the build order wise, like the Forge expansion or the Gateway expansion, but there's something that I've been noticing about how Bisu plays. He always go for DT drop around 9 to 10 minute mark. If you look at the other Protoss players, like how Mini was playing, like sometimes he goes for like some sort of like a double Stargate play and make lots of Corsairs to counter the Muta Scourge build. Bisu is not, Bisu doesn't play like that. He likes to go for super fast robo around like 8 minute mark. Even though his opponent like Zerg doesn't get lurker out, he just likes to get the shuttle super fast and go for DT drop at 10 minutes.
All right, well, we'll be looking for that move around the 9 to 10 minute mark. This time around, we've got a Gateway expand compared to yesterday, which had both Protoss players going for a Forge expand. Also keeping an eye on that nat gas that you were talking about. You know, when I was off racing, one of the first videos I watched was of Shuttle, and Shuttle had a lot of videos on PVZ, and he also was rushing the second gas at like maybe 23 or 24 supply. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, we'll see how he wants to use that extra gas that players like Snow and Mini, I guess, don't focus on. Probe comes in and sees that this is a 12 hatch, and he was not able to block it with a pylon. So this seems like a pretty good opener from Sacsri.
Yes, Sacsri is definitely playing a greedy move with the 12 hatchery opening, and he's also definitely aware of a cannon rush. Yeah, I remember how Mini usually goes for like some sort of like a cannon rush all the time against Zerg on a 2-player map or maybe even 4-player map whenever he scouts the opponent really fast. And yeah, Sacsri is definitely aware about that as well, because Bisu is also one of the players who likes to go for cannon rush anytime whenever he wants. And Sacsri has to be careful with this drone.
I think that's dead. Well, maybe it will get away, but that was a dangerous moment for that drone. And the Zealot has gotten almost completely across the map already. Okay, the drone may get intercepted by this Zealot. Ooh, nicely done. Doesn't lose it. But can this hatchery be denied by a single Zealot and probe? Well, actually, a second Zealot is coming now.
I think if Bisu attacks that hatchery with the probe and one single probe and one single Zealot, he can actually kill that hatchery, because the build timing, like of how HP is going up, it's actually not that fast. But if that second Zealot, okay, I guess Bisu doesn't want to take any risks and not sending the second Zealot, so he just wanted to buy some time, maybe hide that Zealot behind of the mineral line, just like how every single product does. And there's a forge going up. I see a simulator is already up at Bisu's main base, so this is going to be gas into forge.
Yep, forge coming down. Nexus, I didn't get to see the percentage, but I'm pretty sure it's close to completing at this point. Probe is still alive, gets a look into the main base. Doesn't see anything unusual, no Hydra Den, and like no speed or anything, no lair. I'm expecting the lair to come down in just a second, but okay, there it is. Sacsri was banking a little bit of gas and minerals. I thought maybe he was trying to hide Hydra Den.
I am not understanding about Sacsri's gameplay here, because there's a Somas like the Zerg guide pack that I've heard about, like if you're playing as the Gateway expansion. There's a lot of Zealot flood will be coming after the first Zealot, and if you're starting off with 12 hatchery, you gotta have at least 12 Zergling in the beginning. So he started off like 6 to 8 Zergling in the beginning and not making that much of a Zergling. He let Sacsri let Bisu to send those Zealot to his third expansion here, and look how he has been skipping all those photon cannon for so long and getting all those tech super fast. Stargate is already up.
Yeah, Stargate started, but the lair isn't even done yet. So this game is going to snowball pretty fast unless Sacsri can get something going. Like, he's not even mining his third base yet. Like, there's no drones at all. I don't even know how many drones he has at his natural, because he's had to build so many lings. But these Zealots are... look how cost-effective they are. He's going to kill all of them. All these lings.
Yeah, that 3 Zealots... I don't know if you guys have... heard about me like talking about how much of a Zergling you actually need to counter those Zealot pressure. It's always multiply by 3, and there were 3 Zealot. You have to kill those 3 Zealot with 9 to 10 lings, but look how much he has spent those money for the Zergling. And Bisu is just, yeah, look how fast that second gas is as well at the natural. Like, this is how typical Bisu play is.
Well, we can see that Bisu's gas seems to be lined up perfectly. Like, he's not floating a lot of gas. His mineral income is great. His gas income is great. And 2 Zealots just waltz into the natural and pop a drone. And there's not a single ling here, because all of them are across the map trying to deal with this 1 Zealot at the top.
Yeah, these 2 Zealot is just buying some time. 1 drone will fall. 2nd drone will get assassinated as well. 3rd drone... oh, I think this is just not looking too great. I mean, the Spartak is going up, but I would like to see the HP of the Spartak versus the Corsair timing. 1 Overlord is already getting picked up, and Bisu already have seen that Spartak with the 2 Zealot earlier. Okay, here's the second gateway is already going up.
Yeah, we're approaching the point in the game where Protoss doesn't need to build probes anymore, and Sockstreet's supply blocked, and I'm sure we're going to see a flood of gateways pretty soon. Nothing going right for Sockstreet this game. He loses 2 Overlords, and because he got supply blocked so fast, I'm not even sure if he was able to pop out any Scourge or Mutas. For now, the Stairs are just going to turn around, but I don't think Bisu could be in a better position right now.
I have a feeling Sacsri is just going to be committing into 5-hatch Hydra all in here with the Overlord speed, because his Hydra Den was kind of fast and he also put down the second extractor as well. That is a sign where Zerg is not going to be playing those Muta Scourge playstyle. Here is some Overlord popping out finally to have some more drone here, or maybe even more Zergling. I'm not sure about that Zergling decision here.
Yeah, he builds more Lings because he knows the Zealots are coming. Like, they're going to be out in the map pretty soon. 5 are moving out right now. He's going to have +1 pretty soon, I'm sure, too. That means he's going to get 2-shotted, or they're going to 2-shot those Lings. Now, these Lings do move in when there's no defense other than the 2 cannons. Couple of Lings get on the top cannon. Lings are going to take down the bottom cannon, too. Zealot's speed kicks in, and with probe support, actually is going to easily save this base, but it does at least force those 5 Zealots that were out on the map to turn around.
Yeah, now those Hydralisks are out. Look at how low the worker count is. 8 drones at the 3rd expansion. Look how Spectator is dragging those, showing us how much of drones are there. There are 9 drones at the natural. I'm not sure how much of drone Sacsri has at the main, but doesn't really matter, because we know he doesn't have 6 hatchery. If Zerg doesn't have 6 hatchery, you just have to, as Protoss, you just have to squeeze all of your resource for more gateway, more Zala, more High Templar, or any sort of thing that can be helped for your unit composition.
Yeah, and +1 weapon for air and ground has completed. We see already 3 Overlords die, and that's a huge supply block for Sacsri again. Zealots getting on top of a couple of the drones, going to take them down, and the Hydras move to save the 3rd base, and that leaves these 3 Overlords explode. And I feel like I'm watching, what was it, Stork versus Calm? We may see just 4 available supply, 5 available supply for Sacsri.
Yeah, Bisu is just playing excellent here. 6 Corsairs out on the map. Oh, some people might be wondering how much of a Corsair you actually need. Here's the answer that I can tell you. Whenever your opponent is not making Mutalisk nor not planning to go for the Muta Scourge build, you stop after making 6 Corsairs, and that's what he's actually doing. And we saw from the observer point of view, Bisu already has the High Templar, and Mass Cannon is going up as well.
Yeah, there's just nothing Sacsri can do. He either wins with this attack or the game's just over. Bisu almost doubling supply, as you pointed out. Not only does he have Storm available, there's 3 Templars, and he's banking up energy, so he's going to have so many Storms available when he actually moves out. The Sayers didn't get taken out either, so there's like 6 Sayers just waiting to find a straggler Overlord so he can instantly kill it.
Yeah, these 6 Corsairs just keep flying around, earning some trade here. Not even losing any sort of like yeah, he didn't lose any Corsairs. So yeah, there's finally the robotic facility is going up because he's definitely aware of a lurker contain by now. But yeah, if this was a normal game, like how both of the players were not playing this aggressively, Bisu would have gotten that robotic facility 2 minutes ago. And start going for the DG drop that he has at the 10 o'clock. But this game, he spent so much of a mineral for those photon cannon and putting extra forage at the main or something like that. So that could be the reason that his robo is late.
Well, I have to say, despite Sacsri taking so much damage, like absolutely so much damage, I mean, I realize he's still down 40 supply, but he's done a decent job to recover in terms of supply. He's at 70 versus 120. I don't expect him to be able to stop this attack, but if he has like lurkers or something, maybe he can buy some time.
Oh, Storm is available.
Does he not have Storm? He's not casting it.
Well, I mean, he's already moved out in the map, so I'm pretty sure he has it. I guess he's just trying to save it as much as possible to use it at the last second. But here are the 2 lurker eggs. doesn't matter. Storms just penetrates all those damage dealt to those Hydroliths. He will be canceling those Lurker Acts, but doesn't really matter because this number of Zealot count is just too much.
Yeah, it's too many Zealots. It's like 8 gate production behind it. He still has another Storm available. The Hydras are doing a good job dodging it, but Zealots are running into the main now. Spire's gonna get taken down too, which means no more Scourge. Definitely not gonna kill Corsairs now. And more Zealots streaming in, and again, another massive supply block for Sacsri. We're just moments away from him tapping out.
Yeah, Lurkers are out. Sacsri is trying his best. He's just losing his over everywhere. Those 3 overlords are on hold position, getting assassinated by this leftover Corsair. There are 4 Corsairs remaining. It's just painful.
Well, you saw the Hydra on the ramp there. He wanted to morph a Lurker, but he's supply block scanned, so he can't even morph the Lurker egg. And there's the GG. Nicely done from Bisu, and this is looking like the Bisu of old.
Yeah, that was absolutely solid play up. Somewhat different playstyle than how Mini was playing, but still, it's still fresh to see how he can still use those old strategy where he played those DT Corsair style. Still works in this 2022, and Zerg players are struggling. His mechanics is just on point.
Yeah, and it was just a struggle for Sacsri from the get-go. Like, those 3 Zealots did so much damage, forced out so many links, and it just snowballed from there. And versus someone like Bisu, you absolutely cannot have such a poor early game. So Sacsri's going to need to come up with something, because if he ends up rematching versus Bisu, it's going to be probably the same result. I mean, Bisu just looked like he was on another level. And that is going to set us up for a Bisu versus Light winners match. And we'll be back with that in just a couple moments. Oh, are we going to go on the Hot 6 commercial maybe?
Well, they're not camera shooting. Oh, there's a camera shoot
there
on
it
the
is.
Hot 6, so we are going to be moving into Hot 6.
Of course. All right, well, Bisu versus Light. I know that this is obviously the matchup you're looking forward to the most. What are your thoughts of Bisu's chances versus Light? Because Light, I mean, he's god tier Terran these days.
Well, before this ASL round of 24 Group B starts, I was just playing some ladder game on Twitch stream, and I was playing against the Barcode Protoss. Bisu was playing absolutely great. His macro was on point. Like, he crushed me. I know he's better than me, but it just felt like a different Protoss. So I'm pretty sure Bisu's condition would be on point, like 100% okay to beat Light. But in terms of like the history of this Light versus Bisu, Light always crushes Bisu all the time in like 2-3 years ago, back then, like season 8, season 9. I hope Bisu probably needs to change his maybe mindset. Like, he needs to stop doing those typical move of, what is it, 11-minute 200 supply with the first Arbiter stasis field and then breaking the front line.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he's not doing that against Light in this 2022.
Well, I was unaware that Light was Bisu's nemesis. I know for a long time PvT was not the strongest point of Bisu, but I mean, his Protoss vs Terran is amazing. But I remember also listening to a Flash interview a long time ago where he was talking about how Bisu had perfect macro, and he wanted to learn how to macro like Bisu. Like, he didn't want to learn how to macro like I Love OOV. He was saying that Bisu had the absolute best macro that he'd ever seen. So I'm looking forward to seeing a big slugfest between Light and Bisu. You're saying you don't want to see the 11-minute bust. I do, because if I can see a Terran stop an 11-minute max bust, I'm copying that build order, because for me at 11 minutes, there's no way I'm stopping a max bust.
Yeah, it looks like those casters are drinking Hot 6 and feeling fresh, and I wonder if they're actually enjoying it, but
I mean, I've had the Hot 6. I had the white one. It's got like a raspberry type of taste to it, I think. It was pretty good. Haven't tried any of the other flavors. Okay, we are going to go into commercial and we'll be back. We are back and we're getting into our winners match between Bisu and Light in just a second. And Bisu put on an absolute PvZ clinic versus Sockstreet, so he's looking like a monster right now. Meanwhile, even though Light got a victory versus Tyson, Tyson had opportunities to win that game, so I'm kind of favoring Bisu here a little bit. Now, Metaverse is going to be our map choice, or our winners match map. Now, what are your thoughts on this map scan? Because when I initially saw it, I thought, okay, this is going to be outsider-ish.
The map is somewhat interesting. There are something that I would like to tell you guys would be, I didn't know in StarCraft there are like 3 different floors, like the 3rd floor, 2nd floor, and then the 1st floor. So if someone ever asked me like, how do you determine like the 1st floor, 2nd floor, and 3rd floor, like in this type of map like Metaverse, look at those ground, like those darker one, the brown one, that's the 1st floor. And you go up, that's the 2nd floor. That's the 2nd floor on the natural. And from second, the natural to the main base, that's the 3rd floor. And you can see those kind of like a unique thing that you can see here. And we can see from the ASL staff is like dragging the making the circle that those 3rd expansion can be taken by the to the left side, like taking horizontally or maybe even vertically. But if you're taking the expansion to the vertical side, there's a Terran power generator that you have to kill, because a lot of Zerg players are just pretty much like stacking their drone and jump over the mineral and then just start taking 3 base gas in the early stage, and all the players are going to be struggling to play against Zerg.
Well, we're getting a look at the player cameras, and that means that our players are going to be ready to play. So let's get into our winners match. Remember, best of 1. So one of these superstars is going to be knocked down to the deciders match, and one of them is going to be moving on into the round of 16. Is it going to be another Protoss player, or is it going to be our first Terran moving on into the round of 16?
Yeah, so in the Metaverse, I haven't seen much of their game, but I would like to see how Light is going to be played, and also Bisu is going to be played, because I've played it a little, but it seems like it's really hard for both of the players to play in a macro transition.
메타버스에서 게임을 시작합니다.
Okay, in the top right, it is none other than Bisu. And in the bottom right, our Terran player, it is Light. Now, this is interesting spawns. We've got vertical spawn here. Do you think this favors either race?
I
Because
think
all of us, you can't take mid-right, right?
I think whenever it spawns to like vertical matchup, it seems more favored towards to Terran, because you know you can actually lean to the left side, and like I said, there's a second floor that you can put some siege tank before you take your 3rd expansion. And Bisu also gonna be doing that same thing, but he will be struggling to take the 4th expansion because there's a power generator at the 12 o'clock, and he has to kill the power generator with something like a maybe probe or Zala drop or maybe even Reaver drop to kill it, but that will take some time. And that 3rd expansion only has 1,000 mineral. 7 mineral fields with every single one has 1,000 mineral fields, so that's total 7,000 mineral field. That will get mined out super easily.
Well, we've got Bisu going for a forward gate, so he's going to be putting on the pressure, and he is going to get lucky here and find Light in the 1st position. Now, I'm not sure if his probe will be able to get here in time for a gas steal. I don't think so, but this is already a good scenario for Bisu, and I'm trying to get a look on the racks placement for Light, because of course he's going to need some good SimCity versus the incoming Zealot, and he might get gas stolen, and he does!
Well, this is just became like a 2-player map. He's playing on a 4-player map, but Bisu is technically playing on a 2-player map, and go for natural gateway into gas steal in this combo. Bisu is just going to be taking lots of advantage, just like how a lot of pros are taking advantage on the Nicolas.
Oh, if I was Light in this situation, I would be pissed to get scouted first and then also get gas stolen on a 4-player map. I don't know if there's a worse feeling other than yesterday where Barracks got gas stolen twice and that SCP dies to a probe. So Bisu, he's ruthless, man.
Yeah, Bisu is definitely playing super well. I felt that in game. What is it? Like 3 hours ago on ladder, like Bisu was playing like that. So Light is definitely feeling the same thing as how I felt earlier. Hopefully, looks like he's trying to do the same strategy where he has done the not killing the simulator and go for command center first. But this game is gonna be worse than the game number 1 earlier today against Tyson.
Yeah, and what I find most annoying about getting gas stolen when I have my racks right here is when your Marines pop, if you just A-move, like you anticipate the Marines to, follow the Zealot, but if they're already aggroed onto the assimilator, you could have like 3 Marines, but 2 of them are fighting the assimilator and then 1's chasing the Zealot. It's so annoying when that happens. Now, I wanted to point out that Bisu's probe ended up surviving and it moved to the left side of the map, so we don't know if he's going to try and hide some tech over there. Now 2 Zealots get on top of the Marines.
Oh my
2
god,
Marines
this
already
is painful
dead.
to watch.
Oh, he's going to need some flash micro here to try and save this last ditch, or this last Marine. Another one pops out, ends up taking down one of the Zealots. But this is already a nightmare. Bisu's NAT is already going up, and his cybernetics is going up, and factory or command center hasn't even started yet.
Yeah, this is definitely not a great scenario for Light. I mean, Light is definitely trying to go some sort of like a... I don't know what he's actually calculating about this. Yeah, I don't think he can put down the command center. I mean, he only has 2 Marines. Yeah. And here's something that I've seen. Lots of Protoss players decided to like jump over that 3rd expansion with their probe. And they go for Proxy Robo from there. Because, back then when Protoss, a lot of Protoss were playing something standard, then against the Rex expansion, they always go for somewhere like a Proxy Robo, somewhere at the center, and then start doing the walking Reaver towards the natural. And he's pretty much doing the same thing here, but this robotic facility will never get scouted, nor even get taken down by SCB nor Marine.
Yeah, but Light's gonna know something's up because range is not spinning, and obviously there's no way Bisu doesn't have enough gas for that. So I think now it's a dead giveaway that probe that ended up not being killed, probably going for Proxy Reaver here. I would expect to see an eBay coming up very soon for Light. If he doesn't, I would be extremely shocked. Or a starport, either one. We can see that actually this was 2 fact before command center.
I thought this was going to be some sort of like a 2 factory all-in by Light, because we have seen Light was triggered after seeing that 3 Nexus, third Nexus was so fast, and he went for like canceling all of his armory, academy, and go for 4 fact timing. And I thought he was gonna be doing some sort of like a 1 base all-in this time, but never mind. He's just gonna be playing safe here. 2 factory siege mode into expansion. This is the worst case, worst scenario we can ever get to see in this ASL.
Yeah, this is... I don't know if Light could be in a worse spot. Now, something to point out is Bisu's mining gas at his natural, and that's a pretty fast gas, so he may already be anticipating going into carriers or something along those lines. But Light's going to have a strong attack here, so if he was to move into Stargate already, that may be a doomsday for him. Now, you got to remember, even though there is Reaver across the map, I mean, it's not going to help him with this push. So this 6 Marine single tank with rallied vultures could get something done at the natural.
Yeah, eBay going up at 6 minutes 20 seconds, and you mentioned about the second gas timing. I might have to disagree with it, because remember how Bisu was spending all of his resource for like those Proxy Robo and squeezing all of his resource for early stage of a Reaver timing. He wasn't able to get the gun range. So yeah, I think that could be the one of the reasons he needed to have that second gas. But here's the shield battery. It's going to be completed, and this is also high ground. A single siege tank is not going to be doing so much of a job.
Yeah, and he's attacking into Zealots on high ground where those Marines are not registering their shots quite often. The shield battery healed up a couple of those Zealots to full. I think we may just see an instant tap out here because there is
Wow.
no defense from Light. His vultures just popped out, which means tanks are going to be like at least 10 seconds away. And there's no turret.
Look at that supply. 74 already versus barely 50 by now. Okay, that Scarab did connect but didn't get any kills.
This is a really good defense from Light. He's lost only a single vulture, and it also has bought him time to get this turret up. He didn't lose a single SCV either, but as you stated, the big issue here is it's 80 supply to 50, and there's nothing to counter these goons. No bunker, no siege, no anything.
Oh, looks like that is going to be some sort of like a kamikaze drop. Oh, one shuttle! Okay, he was able to unload that Reaver on the last second, so now those goon Zealot just pretty much 8 move. Looks like Light taps out. He cannot keep up the game anymore.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic play from Bisu right there. Merciless gets the first scout off. Devastating damage with the initial Zealots. And Bisu, his micro is incredible so far in the first 2 games we've seen. And if I'm one of the Terran players going into the round of 16 or beyond, well, we're not letting Bisu get a 2-player map because he just obliterated Light so easily.
Yeah, the map seems definitely favored towards the Protoss in my opinion, because there's lots of strategy that Protoss can actually do. Like, I guess maybe I might be able to understand why Bisu has gone for a natural gateway into no, he did a pylon scout, didn't he? I don't actually recall, but
no, he gateway expanded. Gateway scouted.
Gateway scouted. So I feel like I might be able to understand why he has done it, because the vertical scout is always going to be the closest distance than the other location, like what is it, horizontal scout or maybe cross scout that will be taking so long. But the vertical scout is always going to be super fast, and if he's not able to scout him like in a vertical scout, then he'll be just go for maybe gateway expansion or something like that. But here is the ASL Season 13 Group B. The first player who will be advancing into round of 16. Bisu, like he said on the interview, he said he will be advancing into round of 16 with 2 wins without any loss. That was very excellent. And how do you feel about today's game? And Bisu is saying Bisu practiced with Rush and he lost a lot against Rush. So while he tried to set up his mindset of his today's game and also warming up at this offline stage, things were just started to work out so well for him, even though those practice games he didn't get some great result, but on offline stage he's somewhat satisfied with his result. A lot of people know that you are very strong in PvZ, and it was kind of like expected a result for us that you are gonna dominate against Sacsri. So things are just working out well. So Bisu said when he's doing that gateway scout, he shouldn't be able to do gas steal, and he thinks Light was planning to go for Rax expand, but he was able to steal his gas and things just started to work out so well. And he was also shocked that his Zealot micro, everything was so clean for him. Like sometimes, like whenever you're doing the Zealot micro, your Zealot doesn't attack, or maybe just taking a lot of marine hit and start dying. But today's game, things are just working out so well for him. So in the past, he usually gets knocked out in round of 16 all the time. He would like to show to his audience that he's better than that, and not just playing well on online. He also wants to show to the audience that he can play well this season, climbing up higher. Any last word? Okay, he's mentioning about the players. JD, Rush. I forgot the one player he said. So he's saying thank you to those practice partners. Thank you for the cheers.
반잉이라고 있거든요. 그 친구가 카톡으로 용이 오빠 화이팅이라고 했는데.
Oh, so he's mentioning about the girl streamer. The girl streamer text him that good luck for your ASL, and he's pretty much saying thanks to those to his fans and
이제 갚아야 될 게 제가 많습니다.
his friends.
제가 우승하고
And
싶고.
he started to change his mind. Like all the time, like every time, whenever he gets eliminated in ASL in the round of 16, like, oh, I'm gonna retire from the StarCraft competitive scene. He feels sorry about like saying those kind of words, like I'm leaving and quitting competitive scene. He changed his mindset. He's gonna be playing better. He would like to win the ASL. Thank you for the rooting, and he'll try his best.
다시 한번 진출 축하드립니다.
And congratulations once again to Bisu.
자,
Thank you
이렇게
for the
해서 오늘의
interview.
첫 번째 16강 진출자 김태경 선수와 함께했고요. 저는 잠시 후에 두 번째 진출자와 돌아오겠습니다.
Yep, well, this sets up our losers match. It's going to be Tyson versus Sacsri, and winner there is going to be facing off versus Light, obviously an insanely tough opponent. So we'll be back in a couple minutes, guys, and find out who's going to be eliminated. We are back, and we're going to be going into our losers match. It's going to be Tyson versus Sacsri. Now, we were talking about Tyson's PVT earlier. What do you think about Tyson's shot versus Sockstreet here? How's his PVZ?
Well, I don't actually watch much of Tyson's gameplay, although I did play it against him in a PVT, like in spawn matches, but I seriously don't have any idea. But since we know that Tyson is just a recently coming back player and also trying his best on ASL performance, so I think this might be like the even matchup for those two players. Like Sacsri is not good at PvZ, and I'm not sure how strong Tyson is against Zerg, but I feel like Tyson might be learning, or maybe he might got some inspiration how Bisu was playing, so maybe he might gonna copy something how Bisu was playing recently.
Yeah, well, it is Metaverse also, which leads to a lot of interesting games on here. I've seen Mini play on Metaverse, and he, at least from what I saw, seems to dominate PvZ. Like getting that third base at one of the middle positions where it's hard for a Zerg to do anything about seems super strong for Protoss. So we'll see what Tyson's going to come up with. Of course, Sockstreet looking to prove his versus Protoss ability too, because he got obliterated by Bisu. So let's see who's going to be moving on to face Light in our Deciders match. It's going to be Metaverse, and then of course the Deciders match is going to be Butter.
No, they're playing on Metaverse.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, Metaverse here, and then Verse Light's going to be on Butter. I think,
Ah,
right? Yeah, yesterday we saw the 4 pool, right? And that was on Butter.
메타버스에서 게임을 시작합니다.
ooh.
Okay, in the bottom right, our white Protoss player, it is Tyson. And in the top left, our pink Zerg, it is Sacsri. So we've got diagonal spawns.
And this is the diagonal spawn, and look at how Tyson is setting up his worker on the mineral. 2, 3, 5, 7 as Protoss. You have to remember as the that number all the time whenever you're mining on the right side. And if you're doing that, you can actually get the gateway, 9 gateway at 1 minute 9 second. And I'm not sure I have showed you those video how people are actually like competing each other, like, hey, I can get the gateway much faster than you, I can get the spawning pool much faster than you. And some guy actually got the 9 spawning pool at 1 minute mark, and that's almost impossible, but someone actually did it. And Tyson is actually working on this optimization. Looks like he's just gonna be doing that either 109 9 gateway or 114 10 gateway. So let's see how well Tyson is gonna be optimizing his build order. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be 109. 10.
Yep.
Okay.
A little bit slower, but yeah, you can definitely tell that this was optimized a little bit. And I know what you're talking about, because I was watching a clip of Soma with, I'm guessing, one of his girl students from the university, and he was, I guess, racing her to build a spawning pool or a hatchery, and as soon as he built it, he left the game, and it was always like 5 seconds faster than her. So this mineral boosting does actually make a big deal. Now again, Sacsri going for that 12 hatch. It's going to be a good opener for him, of course, because we know that it is a diagonal spawn.
Yeah, maybe he's just feeling confident that Tyson cannot do the cannon rush on this typical map like Metaverse, because I don't think there's much of a space to put photon cannon. There might be some space to put pylon and maybe fit 1 or 2 cannon, but not gonna be looking so pretty. So I guess that could be one of the reasons Sacsri is not gonna be doing pool first. So I like how Sacsri started off with the 12 hatchery, and this is a cross spawn. So I wonder whether Sacsri is gonna be taking vertical expansion or horizontal expansion, like how maybe 4 or 5 years ago, or let's say Larva ZVP. Larva ZVP, he always take the other locations of base, the third base, and then he just start mass sunken and start splitting the map in half.
Yeah, Larva's style was always my favorite to watch, and his games versus Bisu, almost every single time I watched him play, was memorable because they always went ultra late game. I remember there being a lot of Queen games, Dark Archons going mind control, and Sacsri is going to take this third base right there. Now, something to point out with the third base is, unlike on Eclipse, there's not really anywhere for those Zealots to hide, so this time around his Zerglings might have a little bit better success.
Look at that, the third hatchery is not generating the HP much faster than the damage right now, so he needs to be very careful. Like I said, like whenever you start off with the 12 hatchery against the gateway expansion, you have to make 12 Zergling in order to stop this Zealot pressure. He has made the 8 Zergling and lost a single one so far. There are 4 more Zerglings are popping out this time, so he's playing somewhat safe this time than last game against Bisu. So this time Tyson didn't earn much of a benefit against this.
Yeah, this was a really, really good defense from Sacsri right here. Eliminating that probe is a lot of DPS, and he kills only a single Ling. And if we're thinking back to the Eclipse game, remember, Bisu was able to go cybernetics before cannon, so
Oh yeah.
Tyson way, way behind in comparison to Bisu's opener. Of course, he's still fine. He's still got his Nexus up. He's still going to have good defense versus these Lings. But this time around, Sockstreet not playing from a deficit right from the get-go.
50 Vespin gas. Yes, 50 Vespin gas just now disappeared. Instead of going for lair tag, I guess Sacsri is just feeling confident. Like, he just pick up the pro early stage and kill those 2 Zealots without losing that much of a Zergling. I have a feeling Sacsri is just immediately gonna go for 973 here, but I'm not sure whether it will work in this crossbar. Maybe he's just gonna be doing some small Hydraless pressure into maybe 5 hatchery, but let's see.
Well, this is interesting because the Overlord was kind of just hanging out. And I remember Shuttle talking about how when you see the Overlord, it could be a buff, and it didn't go into the main either, so he is just assuming right now that it is going to be Corsairs. I mean, that's a great assumption, but I mean, he doesn't really have much intel. Now, just like Bisu, I have to say Tyson got that nat gas pretty quickly too, so we'll see where he wants to spin that gas. And as you stated, this is starting to look like 973. Those might be the first couple Hydras popping out.
Sirava Adun is going up, and Sacsri is spending some of his Vespin gas to probably gonna go for the pressure here. By now, here are lots of Hydralisks are popping out from the eggs. I don't see it's fully saturated at the natural. I think I saw 5 at the nat, and that's interesting how Tyson is just immediately putting down the 3 cannon without seeing anything. That's somewhat interesting.
Yeah, I see a lot of Protoss players go for 2 cannons, but not really ever 3. Now that probe, I'm not sure if he was able to get a glimpse of the Overlord. However, to see the Overlord come back and you know the Sair is coming, has to be a tell. And you can see instantly Tyson puts down another cannon. He's going up to 5 right now, but the Hydras are already here, and that gate and Forge are definitely going to die.
Yeah, those cannons are not going to be protecting Forge or the gateway. Putting down the last cannon at the last second before the Forge goes down. Tyson, not sure whether he has enough army to stop, because there are 3 Zealots, but this is so much of a Zerg army. Zerglings are soaking up the cannon hit, and that ruins the DPS, the cannon, and Hydralisks are going to be doing the DPS here at the same time. Ooh, better than I thought.
Yeah, Tyson's going to hold for now, but the front 2 cannons may get picked off. Another Forge got built, and that does mess up the AI a little bit. But I'm going to say that that was damage done for Sockstreet, because during this whole time, like, Tyson didn't pull off a gas. Look at his gas income. He has so much gas, but so little minerals, and he also has no gateways.
Oh yeah, there's a single gateway at the main base making a Dark Temple, and I see there's a still probe at the 3rd expansion. I think he's attacking the power generator so he can take the expansion later on. Yeah, so that's a brilliant idea. Once you take that expansion, you have an extra Vespin geyser to... Oh, okay, so Sacsri is definitely aware of the 3 o'clock expansion, so he will be trying to take down the... What's it called? What's the building? Temple?
The temple? Yeah, the temple. Well, if he takes down the temple...
Well, it's stacked. I don't know how many buildings are stacked, but...
Yeah, I was about to say, that seems... If there was only one there, I would be confused. Now, this DT comes in, there is no Overlord, and the Sair is doing a good job to draw attention away from that mineral line, but good reaction from Sacsri to only lose 3 drones. However, there's no defense. Like, there's only 1 Hydra right there.
Maybe it seems like 2 temples are stacked, so one of the temple has just gone down. And just by looking at the shadow, it seems really, really thin. So I'm pretty sure that is going to be the last temple. And I guess the Hydras are pretty strong, and taking down the buildings really, really fast. Yeah, the shadow seems really thin.
Yeah, if I was Tyson here, I'd be wondering, why is there only 3 Hydras at your 3rd base and there's nothing chasing my Corsair? So if he does not suspect that this is coming, this, I think, is a big misread, and he's actually banking resources to build another Nexus.
Oh no. Ooh. Don't warp the Nexus there. Hydralisks are already there. Yeah, he's just immediately.
He has no defense. We don't know if these Templars even have Storm. I think they do because they've been banking up a lot of energy. But he needs to scramble to get up something other than Templars because Hydras, hello, we're in the mineral line.
Well, I guess this is a map that is definitely going to be another favor towards to Zerg, in my opinion, just by looking at how strong these Hydralisks aggression and breaking that temple and start harassing from the back here. Wow, the robotic facility needs to be cancelled as well. Everything needs to be cancelled.
Well, maybe he'll be able to hold it with this Zealot reinforcements. The DT did a good job to knock down an additional 3 drones. I think he got up to 6. Now that is maybe the 6th patch for Sacsri right now. Oh, is this a Muta switch?
Yes, it is a Muta switch. Tyson does have lots of gateway, but where are his army? I mean, 64 supply at 10-minute mark. I am definitely not sure about this because Sacsri was playing on a low eco playstyle and going for Hydralisk aggression, and Tyson definitely defended so well, but this is just really weird in my opinion.
Well, we've got a small move out from Tyson, a single Archon and 4 Zealots, and there really isn't that much defense. There's like, okay, 9 Hydras or so. Maybe it's enough to push this back, but the Archon and Zealots do have +1. Maybe they can bully their way in here. Instead, Tyson is going to turn around, and he is going to try and take this 3rd base again.
Yeah, I am not sure why he's even so desperate to take that 3rd expansion when he can take the 3rd expansion at the 6 o'clock. The what is it? The clockwise. He seems really desperate to take that expansion. I don't think it's that necessary.
Yeah, I'm not sure, and it's not like the 3rd base right next to him, like the one towards the bottom. It's not like that doesn't have a gas. I mean, there is a gas there, which is super important to Protoss. So I'm guessing he feels like this is easier to defend, but I feel like it just draws his units out of position incredibly. So we'll see.
Yeah, those Hydralisks and even Lurker will be coming anytime soon. And wow, Observer will get picked up immediately. That's not great. I mean, Sacsri is just toying Tyson at this moment.
Yeah, and that Robo is heavily exposed. Like, if he picks it off before an Observer gets out, all of a sudden, there's absolutely no detection for these 2 Lurkers that are coming in with these Hydras.
Actually, that 2 Lurkers can just walk through and just start borrowing behind the mineral line. Yeah, there it is! The single Lurker will be borrowing.
Yeah, look at that. He focuses down the Robo, and there's only 2 Observers out. Luckily, no. Oh, he gets one of them. You can see he was trying to snipe it because he knows if he snipes it, well, he can just build Lurkers and just, you know, pretty much power to infinity and beyond and just be in an amazing position.
Yeah, I think Tyson might... I'm not sure why Tyson is not even putting the pylon wall at that, the narrow choke, or maybe block the lurker path, so he won't be able to sneak in any sort of like lurker. But here is the Tyson moving out finally at this 12-minute 13 mark, and he still doesn't have that +1 armor. So whenever you're not having any +1 armor upgrade against Zerg, this is definitely not going to be looking great. Sacsri, yeah, he's just going to be start playing like hero, but you can feel it, like he's something missing. He's great, he's definitely a great player, very strong player, but compared to hero, he's missing something.
Well, he lost a decent chunk of drones in the early game going for those Hydras and, of course, the DT follow-up. So that could be the case here. Now, these Hydras, again, want to pick off this Robo. Not going to get it, at least just yet. But Sacsri on 4 bases, good upgrades, has good defense across all of the bases, I would say. And now, finally, Tyson decides to take this bottom middle base.
Yes, Sacsri is just shopping in one of the lurker. Oh. Wasting the storm on those 4 Hydralisks, but at the same time attacking the front line. I would like to see the upgrade, just +1 lurker upgrade. +1 armor is done. Okay, so Tyson We'll be counting out the Hydraless damage, but there is a plus to attack just now completed for Sacsri as well. All the Observer will get sniped, but there are some high ground that Sacsri actually can abuse, and all those High Templar goons are started to melt. This is definitely not looking great for Tyson.
Yeah, it's just too many Hydras, and this third base is going to get canceled too. We've got a 30 supply lead for Sacsri. Tyson is trying to get back to his base, all of these Dragoons, but he's getting flanked by Hydras. I think the Goons have to fight.
This is just really weird. Sacsri is just playing really well. It looks like there's another unit at the 12 o'clock expansion. It looks like Sacsri wants to take another base, and since he's just making lots of Hydralists and Lurkers, he's just gonna be start doing how Queen usually does. You know, Queen is the one of the players who does not like to go for high tech. He just goes for mass Lurker, Hydralist, and pressure all the time, with just plus to attack. And this is how the game is right now going.
Yeah, and Sacsri really can do whatever he wants. For now, he's just going to stay on Lurker Hydra. There's no Queen's Nest behind it, no Hive. But Tyson's about to mine out, so you don't even have to necessarily go for Defilers, Lings, the big upgrades, the big Hive power spikes. I mean, he can just force Tyson to run out of money, and Tyson has a non-existent army. Like, he just doesn't have anything, so I'm expecting to see the GG any moment now.
Yeah, that's a lot of Hydralists.
Yep, cannons dying. Well, I guess the cannons comboed with the goons are going to push this back for now, but a 50 supply lead now for Sacsri. Lurkers have gone untouched. It's like 7 or 8 hatch production for Sacsri right now, macroing like a madman. And Tyson, I don't think he's even mining in his main anymore. He's just down to 1 base, and this is probably the killing blow. There's just so many Hydras.
Yep, there's a Lurker Morph at the front as well. 3 Observer. I feel like not just Tyson, but lots of Protoss players have the Observer like hockey together with the Gun and Zala, and they just start walking together. But anyways, that was just a kill move at the last second by Sacsri. Tyson, his macro was somewhat off in my opinion. It's totally off, like 10-minute mark and 64 supply only against Zerg after defending that the Hydralisk boss, and he didn't lose that much of a probe as well.
Yeah, it seemed like he just had a plan to take that third Nexus at the mid-right off of very minimal defense, and then when he got backstabbed by Hydras, he just didn't know how to transition into a different game plan, and Sockstreet took advantage of that, taking the entire map, picking off the Robo almost twice, and then setting up the Lurker Hydra contain on all of those high grounds. I mean, it's just almost impenetrable at that point. So unfortunately, Tyson, he's going to be knocked out, but he did have a good showing versus Light. Really thought he might have been able to take down Light, but unfortunately his ASL run is done. However, this is going to set us up for a ZVT. It's going to be Sacsri versus Light in our Deciders match, and I'm excited for this one because we didn't get to see much of a ZVT yesterday.
I wonder what the map is going to be, but it's my personal opinion, I am struggling against the Zerg a lot, and especially, like I said, Sacsri is in Jack tier, and I'm also in a Jack tier. I struggle to beat Sacsri, but we'll talk about this after the commercial break.
Yeah, if we get a look at the map before the game starts, you guys will see that the center of the map is much, much, much smaller. So there's no scenario where Hydras are attacking the third base on high ground over the Nexus. So let's get into our final game of the day. We've got a Terran versus Zerg. So finally, we're going to have a representative from one of the other races. So far, 3 Protosses have made it out, and they are looking extremely strong.
Uh-oh. Yeah. I thought my mic was on, but I actually turned off the mic on OBS. All the whole explanation about the Largo and then Allegro, yeah. The triangle shape of Zerg, Terran versus Protoss and so on. It's just so hard for on Largo, and they decided to make a new edition with a better terrain on Allegro that on favor side of like Zerg versus Terran, for example, like Zerg can take the expansion much easier this time. And here is the spawning location.
Yeah, bottom left we have Mr. Light, and then in the top right, our Zerg player. It is Sacsri. Now, I'm gonna say 6 months, 9 months ago, I know Sacsri was one of the big time players of the super fast ultra style. Is that changed? Are we gonna see Ultraman make a resurgence here, you think?
Well, to me, Sacsri is one of the players who kinda likes to go for Guardian, Lurker, Hydra, Defiler, Rush. And
Okay.
Sacsri, he might gonna play something like that, or even go for some sort of like a Soki playstyle where he puts down the third expansion near his natural, so it would be considered to be like 3 o'clock instead. But let's see, Sacsri is sending the Overlord towards the 11 o'clock, so this is going to be the standard Overlord Scout. Always send your first Overlord Scout to the different location of the natural, and he will be able to figure out whether the opponent Terran Light is taking the barracks expand or how late the expansion is going to be. So that's how Sacsri is doing. And Light is going to be wall off with the 2 depot at the single barracks.
Yeah, and we see a lot of players do that on this position. Now, there is that tiny gap at the top. It's not completely ling tight, but it is similar in the sense to Eclipse, where you do have basically a semi-wall. Now, Light has been known to do all types of styles. Do you think we could see mech? Could this be 1-1-1, or do you think this is just going to be typical expansion?
Well, about a month ago, I was playing on a KCM, the main stage with the Terran team, and Light was in there. Like, I was asking about Terran versus Zerg matchup. Like, I told him that I kind of like about the eBay first build against Zerg, because all the Zerg players are so good at Muta Micro nowadays, and so hard to deal against those Mutalists in the early mid stage. And yeah, like I said, Sacsri seems like he's gonna be doing the another base will be taken with this third hatchery. And I wonder whether Light will be doing the +1 attack after seeing this. I'm pretty sure he will not. Most likely he's not going to be doing it because of this is not 2 hatch opening by Sacsri.
Ooh, denying that SCV is huge, because now, unless Light just has a read on Sacsri, which you seem to have, this looks like it could just be a typical 2-hatch opener. So unless Light knows Sacsri style, Sacsri really could just get away with this third base. Now, 2 Marines did move out.
Oh, look at
like
that.
Oh.
Yeah, look at that Marine moving towards the 10 o'clock. So I try to intercept that Overlord, but Sacsri is definitely aware of it, because those early stage 2 Marine at this 3-minute mark is just too much. And like I said, Light doesn't know any information about Sacsri. Putting down the eBay.
Yeah, this is one of those games where I'm already tilted, and we just started the game because I have no intel of what this Zerg player is doing. Now, my experience on the ladder, which is obviously much different than in ASL, but generally when people are this intent on denying my scout, a lot of times they're like going 3 hatch before pool. Now we see it's not 3 hatch before pool, but it is a 3rd hatch, and Light is suspecting something's up because he has sent out another SCV to go scout.
Yeah, I wonder what that second scout is going to do. But oh, I guess he would like to check out or maybe hide that second scout SCB at the 5 o'clock. So you know, a lot of Zerg players, whenever they're doing some sort of like a 2-hatch meetup, they like to take another spawning location, and he's trying to see whether the drone is coming to 5 o'clock or whatnot. But here is the SCB moving towards to 3 o'clock. Is he gonna climb up?
I think he has to climb up here and see this.
Oh, he will
and
see it.
he is. Now, Light's build, he did go for the fast +1, as you stated, but also the Academy was quite quick too. So really prioritizing those upgrades, not just +1, but also the Marine upgrades. And he's gonna have, you know, range pretty quickly, stem pretty quickly. But he has almost no units at this point in the game. And again, the drone making sure you are not getting in there, dude.
Yeah, Sacsri is denying all those scouts as much as possible, not showing how what he's exactly doing. But Light has collected the information that there was a third hatchery at the 3 o'clock side, so he knows lurker build is not one of the possibility because it's not gonna do anything. Light is not gonna be doing anything, and ooh, look at Light's factory timing.
That is an extremely fast factory timing for having +1 so fast and having Academy so fast. And he has 3 barracks.
And
so
look at the minimap.
How does he miss these Marines? Okay, now he sees. So
that's a lot of Zerglings about to surround those 5 Marines. And Sacsri knows how much of the Marines are still remaining at that center of the map. And he's trying to surround those 5 Marine. Oh, that medic was blocking!
Oh, that Marine moved out and actually created a huge gap at the top, but the 2 Marines are going to end up what? He overstepped, and those are going to be 2 Marines dead. No, just one.
I guess he thought that he had those Marines on the hold position, but those Marines were not on the hold position and just pretty much got sucked in by those Zergling bait. And this reminds me of the maybe 2 years ago game where Light has done the +1 attack into 3 racks plus 3 racks factory build, where he rushes the +2 attack super duper fast with the double science vessel. And this might be the one that he's right now. Okay, no, never mind. He's not getting the second starport.
Well, you can see he's scrambling to get up his turrets because he doesn't have that much bio right now. It's like 8 Marines and a couple of medics. He does have his starport tech very, very fast, so the science facility is going to be starting pretty soon. In fact, I think it just started right now, or maybe no. Ooh, add on onto the factory, so he's going to go for a tank push.
Wow, that is super duper fast factory add-on, and the starport is already completed. +1 should be done by now at 7 minutes 15 seconds. 8 meters flying around. Hydrodyne is already going up. Queen's Nest, there it is. Okay, I have a feeling. It just came into my mind. Sacsri is definitely gonna be doing the lurker guardian build for sure.
Alright, well for now, his mutas are harassing that natural. Found a bit of vulnerability there, a lack of turrets, and it's so hard to deal with mutas when they can go in and out of vision like this.
Oh!
A couple of... Ooh, yeah, Ling's getting mowed down there.
+1 armor.
Yep, Hive just now started. Evolution Chamber has come down, but the first tank is going to be coming out pretty soon. Vessel has started, and a 2 tank push can be very, very strong. It's gonna hit really, really fast. Like, it's gonna be 9 minutes when 2 tanks are out, and generally defilers come out maybe 10 minutes or so. So Light's gonna have a window of opportunity to get something done.
Oh, a little bit of a missed Mira micro there, losing a single Mira there, but Sacsri does have lots of worker, and he's not knowing about how fast the science vessel timing is.
Yeah, he has no idea. Now, I would like for the observer to click one of the mutas or the overlords to check whether it's an armor upgrade, because generally armor means guardians. For now, okay, now he clicked. no upgrade. I guess it hasn't completed just yet.
I don't think Sacsri likes to get any other upgrade, or even if he gets the upgrade, he just gets the +1 Muta and still go for the Guardian, because his main goal is just to get the Defiler with the Lurker pressure, and the +1 attack is definitely worth it against those Mistred as well. But I mean, this timing attack, 9 minute 2 tanks with a single vessel, it seems really fast, and Sockstreet does not have much of an army to defend this pressure.
Well, what Sacsri does have is he does have those mutas and lings, so he can cut off reinforcements, and that is what he's doing for now. He's making sure that, hey, you're not able to get any more units out with this push. But at the same time, all of his units are across the map now, and it's just Sunkens and Lurkers, and, well, newsflash, tanks outrange all of those.
Oh, siege mode is not done.
Oh my gosh, Light mistiming his siege mode just a little bit, and that's a huge deal because Terran versus Zerg. Oh my god, you can't lose your vessel, man! And that means that when the Defiler pops out, he'll easily be able to defend this attack.
Well, there's a second vessel just not popped up, but Sacsri is also not paying attention so well. I guess he's trying to snipe one of the siege tank. Okay, there are 11 mutas, but sacrificing those 3 lurkers for a single siege tank, I am not sure about this, but please, observer, show Sacsri's main base how fast the Defiler Mountain is or whatsoever. But here's the one, nice irradiate. Can Sacsri split? No, he cannot. He's splitting he's trying his best to split, but all the mutas are heavily damaged.
Yeah, that means that the mutas can't really help with this push either. Tanks are within range of the lurkers. Now, I haven't seen a single Defiler just yet. Sacsri scrambling to get up Consume, and Light knows his window. There's the Defiler. Can he pop it or not? There's still no Consume just yet. Light getting on top of all of the lurkers. Is this it?
Yeah, I think this is it. I mean, Sacsri spent all those resources for the Greater Spire. Greatest Spire, but yeah, I just doesn't have much of a time to get for it, and Light just busted. Doesn't matter whether Zerg is playing 2 hatch Muta or 3 hatch Muta like that. Wow, he's just playing like I don't know, maybe he has some type of like a Terran textbook and counters every problem. Like, he just counters every single problem like he faces, like he has all the solution. So in Korea he we call Light like, I don't know, like the master of Terran, like he has textbook or something.
He's got a build order notebook like Artosis.
Oh yeah,
he's got everything written down. Well, you guys saw the power of that 2 tank push and why it is critical to hit your build order in ZVT. Like, if Sacsri had even 5 more seconds, he may have been able to get Consume up. But Light, he knew his window and he punished him.
Yeah, I'll get that note. And we'll be moving into the ASL Season 13 Round of 24 Group B. The second player who will be advancing into the round of 16, that will be Light. Congratulations. And how do you feel?
일단 마지막 경기도 좀 아슬아슬해서 좀 가슴이 철렁 내려앉는 기분이었고요.
So he said he was kind of a little bit nervous that he might gonna get eliminated in round of 24 because just things were not working out so well for him. So I guess he was somewhat a little bit worried, losing some marine and something. The caster asked Light, asking something about Light that oh yeah, the players cam that Light showed some expression while he was playing his game, like, so I guess he's talking about his first vessel where he was looking at the other screen and his first vessel got picked up by the 4th Scourge. So I was a bit worried.
우선도 맵을 넓게 쓰면서 좀 상대방의 허점을 노리는 모습들이 보였는데 김태경 선수와의 토스전에서는 살짝 허를 좀 찔리는 듯한 느낌도 들었거든요.
So the caster is talking about how you felt about your Terran vs Protoss matchup against Tyson and against Bisu.
당황을 많이 했던 것 같아요. 그래서 좀 쉽게 해줬는데
Light is
그거 지고 나서 진짜 조금만 더
So Light is saying that something was a bit unexpected, like how Bisu was playing, and it just started to fall up apart, like with his strategy wise and his build order wise.
또다시 볼수
So
있을
he was
거라는
somewhat
기대가
worried
듭니다.
to play on a
신인상에서 어떤
final
모습
match.
보여주실 건가요?
일단
So
4강
it was somewhat relief for you that you were
오래된 것 같아서
made it into round of 16.
4강이 목표로
And how
할 거고요.
are you gonna be prepared
거의
for this
방송
ASL
결승까지
Season 13
목표를 바꾸고
in this
더 연습에
2022?
대비할 것 같습니다.
And Light is saying
팬들에게도 한 말씀 마지막으로 전해주시죠.
it's gonna
일단
prepare
저도
better
이번에
next time,
그
and
준비하느라
he wants to get into the
바빠가지고
semifinal.
지금
His main goal is to get into
아프리카
semifinal.
여러 컨텐츠들이 있잖아요.
So he's talking about the university content, Africa university
ASE에서 활동을 하고 있거든요.
university content, and he's pretty much saying thank you to the sponsors
네,
of
이번
the
시즌
university,
이대로
and
다시 한번 진출 축하드립니다.
he wasn't able to spend his much time to teach his students,
자, 이렇게 해서
but
오늘
now
두
his
번째
ASL match is done, so he got
진출자
some free
이재호
time.
선수와
He will try his best to teach his students as well. Thank you for reading me.
We're getting a rundown of today's games again. We saw Light barely take down Tyson, and then Bisu crush through Sockstreet and Light. Then Sockstreet getting the best of Tyson, and then of course the game we just saw, Light. I'm gonna say barely busting through Sockstreet because we know Consume was about to finish. So unfortunately for Sockstreet, he's going to be out too. But both of the superstars gonna make it into the round of 16 in Light and Bisu.
That was really weird how the screen was kind of like turning out black. But anyways, yeah. That was the result of the round of 24 Group B. And tomorrow it is going to be the round of 24 Group C. Do not miss it. Rain is here. Rain came back. I don't know how long he has been taking a break. Maybe 2 years after that season 8 or season 9. And we also have to talk about the new face. Bishop is in here too.
Yeah, and for those of you that are looking at Bingsu and thinking, who the heck is Bingsu? Well, that's Horangi, the Protoss player
Horang 2. Horangi,
Yeah.
Horang 2, yes.
Yes, he is back, so this is going to be another star-studded lineup. Of course, think favorites here are Rain and Action, but Bishop, no slouch, and obviously Horangi, no slouch. I want to see how well Bishop is going to play because I haven't seen him too much, and as we stated, or as I said earlier, he had been playing random for a while.
Well, here's a news that I heard from Bishop that couple days ago, JD personally sent a PM to Bishop that JD wanted to practice with Bishop. So Bishop, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be performing really, really well, even though he loses against Rain and maybe play against Action and maybe perform really, really well. I'm excited to see how well Bishop is going to perform.
Yeah, and I know a lot of the foreign fans out here are definitely excited to see Rain, because when he quit, it was just like, what, man? Like, aren't you the best Protoss player right now? How could you do that? So we'll see if he's in top shape. From what we've seen from Bisu, Bisu's in top shape. So there's definitely high expectations for Rain. And with all that said, we're going to wrap up the cast. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. It's going to be Group C, another star-studded lineup. Me and Scan, we'll see you there.